happy holidays and shit like that. Hopefully, do what you want to do. If you want to cook out and toss a few beers and pool party or whatever. If you want to stay in the house, do what you want to do. But hit that like button if you're watching. So, sometime last week I watched the John Henry film on Netflix, and I hate to do this, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, normally I watch a movie, I pay attention, I know what's going on. Now, I knew John Henry. John Henry was a folklore character that they came up with, like, based in, like, 1870, post-slavery. It was published in, like, the 1930s. John Henry was basically like Thor before Thor, a big black guy with a hammer or whatever. Kind of like Paul Bunyan, the big giant dude with the lumberjack and the axe, and it had potential to be somewhat of a hit for Netflix. A black, not super, a black hero kinda. And I was like, okay, they didn't get The Rock, and people were like, why they didn't get The Rock? Well, I don't know. I don't want to say this in a wrong way, but to me, The Rock never really identified with his black heritage. The Rock more identifies as a Samoan, and plus, I don't think Netflix could have afforded to get him anyway. I personally think Netflix should stick to shows. Their shows are great. Their movies, a lot of them, it's a hit or a miss, and this was a miss. And they got Scary Cruise. Who got felt up by that Hollywood exec, but in front of his wife, Scary Cruise. And Scary Cruise has the look and the attitude, and he can act. If you can dispense your belief, you can kind of get past all of the bullshit he does in the Old Spice commercials, pumping his titties up and shit. But excuse me, it fell flat. First of all, they took a character that was an old school character. They put it in modern day times. That was where they went wrong. They should have put this movie should have been based in 1870 or whatever. It's in modern day Los Angeles, and he's trying to decide if these two immigrant kids are in trouble and they're running from these drug dealers, and he's got to decide if he's gonna go back to his old ways and save the day. There's random awkward scenes in this movie where he's smoking weed, he gets caught by the little girl, then he's sitting in the garage, he's smoking one blunt the whole fucking night. The movies, the way they filmed it, the music score is awful. It was like watching a low budget Quentin Tarantino film, but it didn't make any sense. So imagine watching Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction or something, and it just has no. You just lost. You're like, what the fuck? It came off bad. Ludacris, we just did the verses with Nelly. Luda's a legend. When I was in middle school, high school, Luda was the man as a rapper, and I get it. When Ludacris first started doing movies, I was like, okay, good. He's doing something different. He got to keep himself relevant. Hip hop is going down. Ludacris isn't a good actor. He's just not, and he hasn't gotten any better over the years. When Ludacris, and he's a bad guy in this with some kind of weird shit on his face. When he acts, it's almost as if they got the cue card right next to the camera, and he's looking at it, and he's like reading the words with his finger under the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to get you, John Henry. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it seems so forced, and there's this cartoonish scene where there's a confrontation between the villain, who's Ludacris's character, and John Henry, the good guy, and it's like some cartoonish country western tumbleweed going across the field. This town ain't big enough for the both of us kind of dialogue, and it just comes off hokey. Like, that's not how it goes down in the street. If y'all gonna try to make this modern, like, come on, man. I'm like, this is bad. And Netflix has done some good films, but this was bad. I'm like, they really dropped the ball on this one, and I think they got the right guy for it. There's other big guys you can get that can play that role, to be honest, but I would like to see them do this over again and do it the right way. I'll say that. I think if they would have did it based on the time that character came out, it just would have hit harder, But John Henry in modern day times looking stupid with all this cartoonish shit, and the scenes are, I mean, it's one thing I will say, it's entertaining, but at the same time it's like an hour and a half you wish you could get back. But it's not a boring movie. It's just one of those movies you just sitting there scratching your head like, what the fuck? Yeah, I said that so many times, and I'm like, let me see if other people think, and I'm like, okay, I'm not just being a harsh critic. I'm like, this shit sucks. And Terry Crews, apparently Scary Crews, had some kind of something to do with the producing, and I'm like, I wouldn't even want my name attached to that. Just like LeBron helped produce Self Made with Madam C.J. Walker film, I wouldn't want my name on some of these movies. These boys is out here putting EP credits on. These are some bad movies, If I watch a movie and I felt like me and my niggas could have did better with a camera, then that's bad. And when I watched this, I felt like somebody else could have took this and did it better. You get Michael Bay, Spielberg, anybody could have did it. God rest his soul, John Singleton. You know, he did Rosewood with Ving Rhames. That was a classic movie. They could have, you know what I mean? They could have did so much better, and that's what disappoints you about this film. Because the character is dope. It's just the presentation was off. It was off. That shit was weak. It was last week. And I got to give it maybe, I'm being nice, I give it 1.5 out of 5 stars, and that's only because it's entertaining. It isn't boring. The man who played his father was pretty badass old school dude. But the character placement, the acting, the score, just the modern day time, it just didn't work, man. John Henry was garbage, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, that was an hour and a half of my life that I can't get back, unfortunately, and I'm blaming Scary Cruise on that one. Go ahead, man. But let me know what y'all think. I don't want to spoil it. But then again, there's nothing really you can spoil. You know, check it out if you want to. Fire stick it, Netflix it, whatever. But I wasn't feeling it. This ain't it, Chief.